The truth occurs.
Hi everyone. So you had your election in America, and the people decided by democratic vote that Barack Obama was to be the commander-in-chief for the next 4 years, right? Well, maybe not. Here are 22 signs that voter fraud is wildly out of control and the election was a sham. So many strange things went on during this election, and Michael Snyder has compiled a list of some of them. For example, in some places there were more votes tallied than there were people who could have voted. Also, sometimes people went to the polls and were told that they had already voted. In some urban areas, Barack Obama got 98 or 99% of the votes, which is kind of ridiculous. Also, there were reports of voters being bussed in, people being told how to vote in 2 different states, illegal immigrants being encouraged to vote even though they shouldn't be voting. And according to the Naval Enlisted Reserve Association, it appears that thousands of military votes from this election will never be counted at all. I would bet that there are a lot of soldiers that don't like the way things are going right now, and they don't like the wars that they're being made to fight, and probably would have voted for someone other than Barack Obama, who's kept them in this war for the last 4 years and is probably going to continue to keep them in this war. This war might go on for a long time. I think it was Donald Rumsfeld who said that we won't see the end of it in our lifetime and it could go on 50 years. So maybe there was a good reason why they didn't want to count the military votes. And what's notable is that Obama didn't win in any of the states that require photo ID to vote. I find it really strange that you don't need photo ID to vote, because you need to give a thumbprint in some schools to get your lunch. You need a photo ID to use the bathroom in the FEMA camps, but you can vote in the election without photo ID. I just can't believe how in your face they are about this. I mean, 98, 99% of the votes. It's like they really don't even care if you know anymore. They just have to kind of keep the charade going, but they don't seem to care if people are catching on to it. That's pretty bad. But a lot of people are catching on to it. I think this has a lot to do with all this talk of secession now. Texans see membership in U.S. as un-American. They've started a petition on whitehouse.gov to secede from the Union, and they're not the only ones. This article says California has joined its fellow 49 states in politely petitioning the White House to secede from the Union. You have a government that doesn't even care who you want for president, and you're going to petition them for permission to secede from the Union. I somehow don't think that they're going to give your request any serious consideration. I think what they're doing here is they're just tricking you into getting you to put yourself on a no-fly list. Anyhow, there are a lot of petitions going on, and they're not all for secession. There's also this one. New petition, deport everyone who wants to secede. The person who wrote this article seems to think that this is a joke, some kind of a prank. But the petition is very real, and it's actually gotten quite a lot of signatures. And it's called Strip the Citizenship from Everyone Who Signed a Petition to Secede and Exile Them. And so far it's got 14,334 signatures. Watch this be the only petition that the government decides to honor. Okay, look, this is really bad. Do you see what's happening here? How ironic is this? The American government goes all over the world and attacks countries because of the way that they run themselves. And they say that they're going to bring freedom and democracy. How can they bring freedom and democracy when they don't have freedom and democracy at home? Obviously, they don't have that, and they really don't care that much if you know or not. And I don't think they're going to listen to your petitions either. And if you want to know my opinion, I think secession might not be such a bad idea. I mean, who knows what the larger implications would be economically in the short term, but I tend to think that decentralization is always a better solution than centralization and consolidation, because that's what we've had so far, and all it does is give more power to those who are at the top, who are controlling all that. And so far all it's done is worked in favor of corporations and globalist elites and the very few, very rich and privileged people at the top. And for the rest of us, it sucks. So, well, let me know what you think. Leave me your comments. Do you think secession would be a good idea for any of these states? And, well, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.